All right. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Let's see if we're all good. All right, let's just see how everything is. Do a little test. 1 second. Do a little test. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. All right, everybody. Let's go through today. Let's go through the headlines. What's going on? We're going to cover a little bit about the TSA situation, mainly because I think for the people that are traveling, especially this week, we have a few different conferences within the digital asset industry. Figured we'd do a little research piece on what's going on with TSA. If you are traveling this week, what it means for you. But first, I know we have that first, but why don't we just go quickly into as the markets are wrapping up. We had a little bit of bounce today. Over the weekend, Trump basically let stocks kind of just take a dip by the end of the week, and then after hours on Friday afternoon, decided to say, "Hey, we're going to start, really wrapping things up and making amends." And then today, he made an announcement that he was pausing pretty much like military activity on energy stations for the next 2 weeks while they get through a bunch of just peace talks. I know Iran. There were reports coming out of Iran that there were no such peace talks, so we'll see where that comes out. But definitely more volatility ahead. Dow was up 1.8%, Nasdaq up 1.6%. S&P also up 1.6. So generally, we are moving in the right direction. But let's just go through our names here. We've been short Meta as of late. I think today it took a nice bounce. Currently sitting at 607.58. It hit a low. Pre-market, it was trading at 590. So it's definitely taking a bit of a reprieve here, sitting at 607.32. But overall, doing all right. Let's just go through NVIDIA, some of the key names within the AI space, sitting at 176. SanDisk, another one that is up substantially in the early part of the year, sitting at 688. So down from all-time high of 770, which is, that's something that was just insane. So, all right, let's go through. Now, I think what we should point out is Bitcoin digital assets are actually performing rather well. Over the weekend, Bitcoin took a little bit of a dip. It was at 67. It's currently sitting at 71. But gold and silver have taken a pretty big beating, almost, I think, historical correction here from 5,200 all the way down to 4,000. So a good 20% from the all-time high. Similar story to silver is at 120. Now it's down to 70. So almost a 45% correction. So it just shows you that we're just in an absolutely, again, insane environment, and if you're partaking in it, it's even more just crazy. Oil also has come down pretty dramatically. What happened? We could go a little bit deeper into this, but just to TLDR on what's happening with oil. Number one, as we've said again, the Strait of Hormuz is pretty much the linchpin of 20% of the oil industry worldwide. That has been pretty much halted, and there's been little to no support from outside countries trying to reopen it while this conflict has arisen. There have now been reports of countries that are assisting outside external countries to protect them, and potentially a consortium of countries that will help actually reopen the strait. Iran has been very vocal that they are likely not going to do that. But now we see the U.S. kind of mobilize troops and perhaps try to secure the strait. So we'll see over the next couple of weeks where we end up. So that's what happened and why oil has been so high. Now, why has it come down a little bit more? Number one, you did see those countries come in, basically starting to show support for the countries that are being impacted and the oil supplies that are being impacted. Also, Korea. South Korea, I believe. Let's just go to the main stock market because they actually went in and are now providing some releasing supply of oil. I believe Korea. Yeah, March 11th, release $22.46 million of strategic oil reserves to help do that. Now, they import around 70%. So the Korea, what is the Korean stock market? Sorry. The KOSPI. So this was in the headlines. KOSPI was in the headlines, down I think 7% today. So Wednesday, yeah. So it was at 5,800. Now it's at 54. So yeah, 6 to 7%. Now let's just go a little bit into. I want to just take a look. It might be specifically because of oil, but I know that they did release a pretty big strategic reserve. Yeah, so it's part of the energy crisis. So now you're seeing pretty substantial impacts to non-U.S. markets from what that is. Let's do it with Grok. I know somebody pinged them. God, U.S. is just drama queens. Bring everybody into their mess. But yeah, that's just a little bit of overview of the U.S. oil market, what's going on there. What are the things to look out for? It's the support of countries that are being impacted, especially energy. And then let's just see where nat gas is, because they supposedly 17% of the supply got knocked out, and yet it's still going down. So I wonder if I don't know enough about nat gas to speak really appropriately on why, despite Qatar being hit, despite significant disruptions to Qatar liquefied natural gas. U.S. gas prices have recently moved downward due to weak domestic demand, high storage levels, buy the rumor, sell the news. So wow, okay. So gas terminals are almost at all-time high levels. So there's just so much inventory out there that it doesn't matter. Wow, okay. 1% above the national average. Okay, so nothing. It's odd. You see something that says 18% of the global supply is being impacted, and yet the price is going down. Now we're not in the cold weather anymore. I mean, we're still a little bit cold in the U.S., but it is very odd. I feel that heating demand return likely reduces lower natural gas storage surplus. So not a whole lot going on here. I wonder if there's any discussions on Twitter. Do do a little bit of a research while we're doing this. Not a whole lot. European natural gas prices up 50% when they did it. Let's just see what UK NBP natural gas futures and PB natural gas. Oh, UK, sorry. So it seems like it's very specific ones. Yeah, this one, okay. So that just puts it in perspective. Overall, worldwide natural gas prices are going down, yet the UK natural gas futures are, I mean, they're up 100%. So it just shows you, like, you know, I would love to see like why is that the case? Wow. Okay. All right. The other things that we want to just touch on. Let's just take a look at other digital asset stocks before the bell. Circle sitting at 125, which is I think pretty healthy. Pretty bullish actually. Just given the fact that it's a very high equity value for where it is today. Figure sitting at 33, which is also above its IPO price. So Figure and Circle to the most, I would say, the best performing IPOs are doing quite well. And also, too, let's just take a look at Robinhood's venture fund. Because I think this is a good way to gauge how people, wow, okay, up 6%. So it really has, wow. This is actually pretty good. I didn't expect it to perform so well. It was actually at a discount to the mark valuations, so it is quite interesting that it's performing so well. I wonder what's actually driving this, aside from the fact that it's the discount is going away. I mean, if anything, if we take a look at pre stocks. If we just look at the premium percent, so that's just the price over what it should be, right? The mark valuation and the applied valuation relative to the token price. It looks like they're trading about 10% above NAV or above that, you know, the actual market valuation that of the last round. So you could argue that this could as well do the same. Is it going to actually trade above NAV? This is a digital asset treasury play, if you will. The same thesis, right? The fact that people can't get access to certain assets, therefore it trades at a premium because you have a NAV premium associated with actually acquiring the shares. So something to take a look at. I don't think I will be participating in this, but it just because of the names in it, that if you just take a look at the names that are in, I'm not really too interested in the names that are in the venture fund itself. Robinhood Venture Fund constituents. The names in it, there are some interesting ones, namely like Databricks. Ramp, I don't know about Ramp. I don't truly quite understand the valuation. It's something like $20 to $30 billion. Revolut, which is a neobank. These are all very financial-based applications. AirWallex was a cross-border payments infrastructure, so a lot of payments infrastructure. Boom Supersonic, which I personally don't really feel the need to get any exposure to. Merkur, which is AI automation related software tech, and then Aura Health, which is arguably could do well. They're Most people are doing the WAPs, or what's the new what's the Aura versus Whoop. Yeah, Whoop. Everybody's doing the Whoop. In fact, for those that don't know this, you can actually get a free Whoop if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, which I have yet to do. So I'm going to do that, and I'll let you know how it goes. So that is something that could be interesting. All right, so we got through the market news. I want to quickly go into what's going on with TSA. We keep seeing lines, TSA airport lines. JFK Airport, Monday morning, massive crowds overwhelm terminals as TSA delays spiral wildly out of control. Let's just take a quick look. And look at this. It's just ridiculous. I'm as somebody who goes to the airport like relatively frequently. I just feel that if you are going to the airport and you wait on one of these lines for 3.5 hours, you go early. I don't think that's the move. I think you should go when you're like, you're going to wait online, and then all of a sudden you're going to have to get your flight, and they're going to have to let you on. So I do feel like it's just, if you want to be that person that goes 3 hours early just to wait online, or you go when you need to get on your flight, which is a little bit of a toss of the coin. But what's actually happening? I think the what people are not understanding is that TSA is not getting approved. Their budget is not getting approved for the government. Therefore, they're not getting paid right now. Trump just announced that they're going to send ICE agents to do the job of TSA, and that will help relieve it. But it seems like everybody's sitting here, and this is what's so important about air travel, and why you're gonna you see like Delta, and you see American Airlines stocks, and you ask yourself, like, everybody has to fly. Like, it's not a human right to fly, but it's actually a national security issue to have domestic airlines off. So it's a very interesting conundrum between the equity markets and the U.S. government, because the U.S. government doesn't want to do air travel because it's so complicated. Like, it is such a pain. If you had the government running the airlines, you would be like, everyone would lose their minds. It would be slow. It wouldn't work. It's logistically very hard. So that's why you saw such large care packages to Delta and American Airlines, JetBlue. I mean, all these different companies that were able to get massive funding during COVID to get them through that period, because it's almost a necessity nowadays with the U.S. and with just globally. So something to keep in mind, just as you're looking at these kind of like what is happening, these should resolve themselves quickly, because this is not a one-party issue. This is a bipartisan issue. No one wants this. We pay our taxes so this doesn't happen, right? Like, this is one of those things where I think with the combination of Iran and the combination of these types of issues that impact day-to-day, you have your gas prices, airlines, airports. Like, these are the things that politically they're going to go after, because people actually do care about them. I care about them, for one. But that's what's happening. TSA is not getting paid. Trump saying ICE is going to come in and basically take their spots to relieve the pressure. But overall, it doesn't seem to be impacting it at the very moment. Now, it looks like the ICE agents are now in JFK and in these different airports, but it looks terrible. LaGuardia on the 22nd, it spilled outside the airport. It's just one of those things where, like, do you get benefit off of going early? I don't know if you do. You get there when you have to get on, and you say you have to get on. I don't know. Very odd. Um, the other thing is there's a crash today at LaGuardia Airport. I don't know if there's any reports of injuries. Oh, look, they actually have a video of this. LaGuardia crash is a tragic nightmare. Definitely could have been prevented. Controller apparently screwed up and gave the fire truck approval to cross the active runway. Okay, so the plane actually hit um oh my gosh, that's insane. Oh, that's terrible. Look at this. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Like I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine this. Like, imagine you're on a flight at like 6 in the morning. You're about to take off, and all of a sudden you hit a freaking fire truck. Um, let's just take a look at the injury report. Everybody say a prayer for him. 2 dead. Oh God, that's terrible. The pilot and co-pilot were killed. Wow. Okay, it's closed and won't open till 2 p.m. I mean, like you're just. I mean, this is terrible. It's still on the runway. I guess as of 2:54. God, terrible. Air Canada. Let's take a look at their.
Hello, bonjour. I'm Michael Russo, President and CEO of Air Canada. Today is a very somber day at Air Canada. I'm here to provide information on an accident that occurred involving a Air Canada Express aircraft. The aircraft was operated by Jazz Aviation LP, which operates flights on behalf of Air Canada. First, and most importantly, I want to express our deepest sorrow for everyone affected. Our efforts are focused on the needs of our passengers and crew members, along with their families and loved ones. We know this is a difficult day for everyone, including all of us at Air Canada. We know that there are many questions, but at this early stage, we do not have all the answers, as the circumstances are still being assessed. However, I do want to share the information I have at this time. The event happened at LaGuardia Airport after Air Canada Flight AC-8646, operated by Jazz Aviation, a CRJ 900 aircraft traveling from Montreal to New York, had landed. Flight AC-8646 was carrying 72 passengers and 4 crew members, for a total of 76 people on board. We now know that the captain and the first officer were killed in this accident. We are deeply saddened by the loss of 2 Jazz employees, and our deepest condolences go out to the entire Jazz community and their families. We are working with the authorities to confirm the number of injuries and if there are any other fatalities. We are actively working with all relevant authorities on emergency response efforts. The Air Canada Special Assistance Team has been activated to assist our customers and their families. We're fully supporting the relevant investigative authorities.
Okay, likely going to be disclaimers till the end of the video. Air Canada. Air Canada. Oddly enough, is up on the day. Oh God, that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, brutal, brutal. But that's what's going on. I mean, looks like, thoughts and prayers go out to those 2 family members. Those the pilot and the co-pilot, but wild. Which has popped up just going onwards. I know it's a terrible thing, but it looks like ex-Kalshi employees are launching a $35 million prediction markets fund with rival CEO backing. So, former head of operations and early trader at Kalshi's market maker, raising up $35 million to invest in 20 prediction market startups over 2 years. The fund targeting infrastructure like market makers, prediction market, and prediction indices, with limited partners including Kalshi CEO Tariq Mansour, Polymarket CEO Shane Copeland, Mark Andreessen, and others. The unusual collaboration highlights leaders' confidence in the sector growth, even as Kalshi and Polymarket face lawsuits over gambling claims while raising billions at massive valuations. Also, news came out that there's a bipartisan bill going to challenge the ability to do sports betting on prediction markets. That would upend a lot of the volume there, so we'll see where we end up. Yeah, wild. Huh. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Developers embrace Claude Code's customizable AI agent. Yeah, I mean, listen, there are so many skills coming out right now. There's so many skills for agents coming out. It's looks like Tolly, which is the founder of Solana, is neck and neck between ChatGPT Claude and Gemini, which is incredibly bearish for OpenAI and Anthropic. Why is that bearish? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why is that bearish, but it's interesting. Huh. Pakistan is the lead mediator between U.S. and the Iran. That's interesting. It includes ties. Pakistan is using its ties to Iran and to warm the relationship with Trump. Pakistan has pitched Islamabad as a venue for talks in the coming days. Pakistan's army chief spoke to Trump on Sunday, and the prime minister held talks with the Iranian president. So, wow, that's crazy. Pakistan must be getting they must be getting a chunk of this deal. Oh my God. Definitely. I know that we spoke a lot about Chamath. I listened to the All In podcast quite the All In podcast is definitely one of those good podcasts to listen to. Jason, who is the main speaker on the All In podcast, is actually showing Tau, which is decentralized compute for foundational models. Tau is currently, which was originally, I think the actual name is BitTensor. Yeah, BitTensor Tau, 287. I presume if he's talking about it, it's going pretty well. So it's currently sitting at 287, which, it's hit its lows. His lows around 179. This is definitely one of the more hyped up tokenized things, but hey, I like it. Oh my gosh. Strategy announced a $21 billion STRC, which is one of their preferred stock, at the money program, and a new $21 billion MSTR at the money program. Holy crap. Yo, that is actually insane. That's like these are huge numbers. It's up 1.9%, but like that's getting put straight into Bitcoin. So you just basically they basically just said that there's $40 billion going into the Bitcoin market. Let's just take a look at the volume for Bitcoin recently. Um, Currently, the daily volume of Bitcoin, which you could argue like half of it is actually just wash trading, is I would love to see like the buys in the sell volume, buy sell volume. But let's just assume. I mean, it's not. It's very hard to assume, but like that would be that's significant. That is a significant amount of money to issue, especially given the fact that their market capitalization is only 46 billion, right? like like it's significant for sure. Now, I forgot about this. This is always one that we're EONR, which is the natural gas one, and then RCAT, which is the drone company. Oh, 15. Okay, so this one's doing all right. Um, wow, $40 billion, $42 billion. That is actually insanity. Just actually wild. What's hope.com? Is this a Bitcoin? Oh my gosh, Bitcoin is hope. I mean, drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. Incredible. I mean, you gotta appreciate the boldness of Michael Saylor and his dedication to Bitcoin. I think it's pure. I'm not sure if that's the right word. I know that there was a couple interesting headlines that I got sent. Oh yeah, it was the Cauchy guys, and a few other. Let's just take a look at the latest news. Oh, Dragonfly investor challenges agentic commerce hype on stablecoins. Robbie Peterson. The agentic economy will be massive. The agentic commerce won't. The agentic economy will look like more like an org chart than a marketplace. Um, oh, interesting. So he's saying that agents will likely not transact autonomously. Commercial agents are the logical evolution of SaaS. I think everybody can agree with that. Nothing shocking there. Let's just take a look at the Grok summary of this. Commercial agents evolved from SaaS, deployed top down inside organizations to automate internal workflows without needing external payments or uh, cross org transaction. Costs like compute data APIs stay bundled and abstracted to single platform invoices rather than generating thousands of micropayments. Okay, I would agree with that. Because it just doesn't make sense to do this. Um, oh, interesting. Is this? Um, let's continue onward. Consumer agents will orchestrate discovery and present options, but humans will retain final choice and authorization because of preferences emerge during selection. Okay. Only bottom up, fully autonomous agents operating without human principles create meaningful demand and for permissionless rails like crypto. This category remains small and experimental. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's agreeable. Um, I think fully autonomous anything right now is just not working. Like everything is human in the loop. Everything is human in the loop. There are very, very specific key workflows that you can automate if you have very good specialized expertise. Also, too, there's high ROI and low risk, such as what he said, which was sales agents, analytical agents. These are things that if you can get 90% correct, very, very helpful. The 100% correct, agents will be used to help define workflows, which then are procedural, right? That's it. Because you can have an agent that can define a very complex workflow and you can iterate and iterate and iterate, then you make that into a procedural workflow, which then can operate 100%, right? So you slowly iterate to get that workflow to 100%. But for anything that isn't repetitive, it's very unreliable. And if you are, again, the things that are good for it are customer service agents, things that if it gets wrong, you just pipe them out to a human in the loop. Things like accounting will not be agentic. There will be no agentic issues there. It will be solely procedural code that agents help to create the workflows. Without agentic help with creating workflows and iterating on ideas and creating the actual code itself, procedural code, it would be impossible to do anything. Anything that you are going to see soon is not going to be agentic. It's just not. So just to put it in the court here, I never really understood why anyone would argue that these microtransactions between agents are going to help fundamentally. What is it changing? It's not really changing anything. It's saying that it's going to be tons and tons of micropayments instead of singular providers, but economically it doesn't make sense because it's more cost. It's higher friction. Why would anyone do that? So thank you, Robbie, for doing that. We'll follow you as well. Gosh, what was I going to say before? Oh, Resolve. Oh my gosh, this is just it pains me to look. I mean, so Resolve, the stable coin of Resolve, depegged, and I think it's USP. Wait, let's see. Resolve. It just shows you this is all BS. Made up. Resolve USR. This is a stablecoin that should have been pegged at 1. Currently sitting at 26 cents. It depegged the other day. Somebody gained unauthorized access to a private key, which then allowed them to mint. I think 80 or 90 million, dump it on a decentralized exchange, and then completely depeg the entire environment. Now, what's very odd, in my opinion, is the fact that USR, the governance token, Resolve, the governance token behind USR, is still sitting at a $20 million market cap, and it didn't even go to an all-time low. I don't know, guys. This is the stuff that you just look at. You're just like, oh my gosh, this is all. A lot of things are propped up and just made up. The fact that it has 300K of 2% depth is actually pretty astounding. I wonder On the Dex perp side of things, looks like open interest is about 1 million, volume is about 1 million. So I mean, it's still pretty high, but it's very odd. Like that's this thing is dead. It's completely dead. No one, you don't get around this. Like this is a dead company. This is a dead token, and it's still sitting at what you could argue at 20 million market cap. Arguably, they are like the founders already exited. I don't know. Uh, but the one thing that I do want to highlight with this depegging event was the amount of like Morpho. There was autonomous deployments of yield strategies, right? So somebody said, "Hey, I'm going to give you 10% if you put it in my protocol, and then we're going to move money around so that you get a yield for it." Uh, they were autonomously still using the stablecoin after depegged to get yield, and it just like this is just something to take into account, like how yield strategies as it is today, and it has been for 5 or 6 years, are some of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. And that's, you see that in the bankruptcies, the lending protocols that were early on, where they got their money, um, the hacks that occur. I mean, Web3 is great. Like I think it's all fun stuff, but like, who is putting their money in these protocols? So I mean, eventually these things will go away. I mean, Venus protocol, uh, $2.5 million in debt. So this is interesting. 1.3 is going just great. $80 billion in hacks. Trader loses 50 million in Aave swap. Uh, Oracle bugs. So it's hard to argue the benefits of smart contracts when you have these things happen on, these are weekly things, right? So it's very hard to argue these, and it's that's like fundamentally the issue is, as um, especially as just AI gets better, quantum to a certain extent that becomes more available, which it's not going to for quite some time. Um, but it's very hard. It's very hard for one to look at this and say DeFi, like there needs to be a step function in the reliability of smart contracts, and as long as this keeps on happening, uh, it just shows you like there's smart contracts and wallets. Um, it's hard to argue why somebody would use this or put serious money in it if this is what happens. Uh, and it happens to ones that have 18, 20 audits, right? So, and there's plenty of other exploits. I mean, this happens all the time, all the time. We don't use smart contracts. I'm not sure how you get a like a private key compromised. That's you have to really you really have to do some crazy stuff for that to happen. Just insane. So let's just take a look at their tweet. Yeah, nothing's happened just yet. Um, Holy crap. Sorry, I had to read this, but OpenAI is offering private equity firms a guaranteed minimum return of 17.5% as well as early access to models uh, to basically implement AI. This is holy crap. Wow. Um, one of the things that I've had several chats with private equity funds and just people who are in the industry of how they are looking at AI and how they're going to use it. Uh, it's still nascent usage, and private equity firms have no idea how to do this. They have no idea how to implement it. To actually implement it in a commercial setting is hard. I mean, it's not like the easiest thing to do. Um, so these are wild statements. Like they're basically saying that they have access to the whole private market, and the only way for AI to really get ingrained in enterprise is uh, through that. Oh, another news. We actually made this website, Creeping Pump. I know it's a little strange, um, but it's a website. It's 12-week. It's a 12-week program with just different ways to track your workouts. It gives you a full 12-week progress, Monday through Sunday. Allows you to time everything, set your plan, so you can actually set your weight, your height, everything that there is to a specific person, and it will set a plan for you. Um, so something interesting, creepingpump.com. So let's just put it. It actually does. I think technically I'm 71. Male bench. I'm probably 275 bench. I would hope I'm 315, 405. Overhead press 135 is probably that. So if I set it, I can set the plan, and it will actually suggest the weight for me. Let's just say today, I think I actually used it. So let's see what the actual 85. Wow, actually I was very close. I think I think it was 80 on these. Uh, Rack pulls. I would think that would be 138 to 260, very similar. Wow, it's actually pretty decent. So if you're ever looking for a workout, this is a great one to use. It's super easy. It's like very simple. Great workouts, tons of workouts. So it's pretty good. Anyways, it's something that we just worked on. I just worked on for fun. Um, but we'll continue onwards. Uh, yeah, I mean, these private equity firms don't even know what to do yet. They're not. They don't know. They don't know how to use it. Wow. Wow. Insane. Just insanity. Wow. S&P 500 worst performing stock in 2026 was Robinhood. It's currently sitting at 70. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I didn't realize it hit 70. Currently sitting at 72.70. We're wrapping up on the day. Let's take a look at Meta. I'm curious. I mean, this is, yeah, currently sitting at 605.99. So down about a couple dollars or a dollar since we looked at it. I don't know how. I mean, I guess people are bidding kind of like the bottom. This is the bottom territory for a lot of different trenches essentially. But you know, it's hard to argue that we're in it. Like this is the end. Definitely peace talks are going well. So we hope that it is. The Kobesi letter is saying that the U.S.-Iran peace deal talks are definitely underway. It's yeah. Looks like high stakes capital is selling hype. Huh. I'm just going through. Wow, Trondao is expanding its AI. Oh my gosh, from 100 million to $1 billion, and focusing on permissionless finance within the agentic realm. Wow. Let's see what this is.
Today, AI is only as good as its context, your docs, Slacks, and apps. But for many industries, the truth isn't in here, it's out there. In the field sales visits, in doctor appointments, and real estate tours. In the thousands of offline conversations that shape decisions every day. But today, AI agents are blind to all of it.
BOTA changes that. We will develop the world's simplest solution for offline data collection for businesses and developers through smart devices and wearables. For the first time, users can capture real-world conversation, which allows their AI to act with full context, not partial information, not guesswork. Full context, because AI agents with the most context make the best decisions. We just shipped our first batch of wearable devices from scratch and have built the first-of-kind platform to power the next generation of agentic applications. Here, our customers across healthcare, education, sales, real estate, and more have used our data to build their bespoke solutions for their customers.
We are a rare team that deeply understand both AI hardware and B2B. My co-founder Qi and I are serial co-founders with an 8-figure exit. I studied robotics at Stanford and worked at Apple and Tesla on sensors and system engineering. Qi spent years at Amazon and AWS, building retail and cloud infra. We also worked together at a leading AI hardware startup where we led the B2B business unit together. We know how to build AI hardware, we know the B2B market, and we know how to scale it.
The agentic economy is a 100 billion opportunity, but it remains limited to inboxes, Slacks, and databases. Bota will capture the next frontier of data, offline spaces. If you are looking to partner with us in the future of
I think it's interesting. I think wearables are certainly hot right now. It's number one, like why wouldn't you just put it into like a Whoop or something? I mean, of course this is trying to take video. I just feel like people think it's it's something that you have to wear, and then number two, it's almost like an invasion of privacy. I don't know. You would almost have to have like the employee opt in to it versus not, but anybody in like I don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't see this is like this if it tuck, I could see why this is like a venture, kind of deal here, because if it takes, it does very well, but on the other side it's just like I don't know. I don't know a lot of people that would actually do that. Or want to, like, who would want to do that? Even as an employer, like, to constantly record your employees, what they're doing, may not produce good results in the end, especially as the people who are staying and doing the work should be the highest performers. So the highest performing people don't want to be tracked like that. That's just like not going to happen. They have to want to do it. Essentially, that's what they would want to do that. So I think there's a lot of privacy concerns, a lot of issues with it, and I don't see it really happening for quite some time. Especially because, like, if it really is full context, then it would be your software, it would be what you're talking about, and arguably what you would be thinking about. But that is the case. J.P. Morgan launches CDS, which is insurance covering Alphabet, or it's like insurance against the price risk, against Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Oracle to help clients hedge AI-related debt risk. Wow. We're coming up on the hour. In Dexify at 4 p.m., we have an agent which creates a portfolio and that we track every single day of the newest coins that come out. Something that happened yesterday. LOL Aliens Cat. Looks like this is up a good 5%. It was up a good 25%. That's exciting. This is actually more. It's up 28%. So we're experimenting with just combining very small, low caps and seeing the potential with getting some pretty crazy runners. As you can see, there's hits and misses, but overall, it just shows you what we can do. You can connect an agent. This is an agent. Blackcalm 49895 is an agent which creates portfolios continuously over and over again. I see Purple Calm created a stack of Amphibie. So shout out Purple Calm. We'll see how that one does. And then if we just take a look at, we're going to hit 4. We're going to see that there is going to be a portfolio that pops up. Just looking at the highest volume tokens today, it looks like Ethereum, Coinbase, Solana, Pippin, Jupiter LP. I actually am wondering how this is doing. This is the Perps liquidity provider token. Wow, it really hasn't done too well. But it does provide yield, so you get yield for that token, which is kind of cool. As I was just talking about yield and the possible downfalls of it. Punch is still doing pretty well, up 25% the past 4 hours. Wow. Tron also, they announced their $1 billion fund. If we just take a look on-chain stock, this is also one that I find interesting. Is just the on-chain stocks. And seeing which ones have the highest volume, which ones are performing, which ones are not. Looks like Coinbase stock is up 2%, or actually 4% on the day. S&P is up 1%, MicroStrategy up 3%, Tesla up 2.6%. So overall, some good 1 day or 4 hours. Now, if we just look at the 1 day, now this is going to take into account some very low volume things. So let's just set a volume or a market cap threshold. Actually, not market cap. We need volume. So overall, on-chain stocks are doing quite well. Quite well. Of course, the market is up, so that is the case. And then commodities, as we know, are not doing too hot. Looks like gold, the VNX gold, is actually down the most. Volume on these are not that high, though Tether Gold is the highest. It's down, 11% over the past 7 days and 50%. Now we take a look at Stack Wars. Stack Wars, our participants were doing quite well, especially in the traditional portfolio of equities. But it looks like the digital assets are the ones that are performing right now. So Noah DeFi Club is actually performing the best, up 4% since the start, which is on the 27th. So we're about a month in. This is BTC, Dog with Hat, Bonk, Pepe, Robinhood Stock, and SpaceX. So just shows you that non-traditional Pepe is up 8%. A non-traditional portfolio is now outpacing stocks like Microsoft and Google over the past month. So just shows you. Now let's take a look at the portfolio that just popped up 3 minutes ago. It has a 400K market cap. We're gonna buy. We actually did reduce the amount that you can purchase here. It's gonna go purchase all the different assets in this portfolio. Looks like Percolator, LOL, Lambda Markets, Valor, and Percolator. Oh, Percolator, interesting. Percolator has one that we've been consistently looking at. Oh wow. Alrighty. So we do have one of them, but we need to review. Oh, 375 AI is up 34%. Shout out 375 AI. That's awesome. This is one of those deep in network tokens that we've been looking at for quite some time. So very cool. Okay. Well, we're on the hour. Everybody, it's great to touch base, say hello, go over the market news and what's going on, and hopefully we'll get airports figured out sometime soon. But thank you, everybody, for joining. And